Come on, the famous Turbo Mies. Turbo Mies is a conditioner. I think it is a masterpiece when it comes to pre-start electrolytes. This electrolyte, as before in the films about these nutrients, is given to the last watering, i.e. Friday, to the last feeding and watering. So, first the pigeons consume food, in the last Friday feeding, and then they give them supplements. Never the other way around, because if at the beginning, for example in the morning, they would get a turbo bear, well, this is a very big energy boost and they would stop feeding. As we said, feed first, then nutrients. Also always on Friday evening, not the other way around in the morning. What's next? L-Copico oil. I said before that we use this agent. I used this season from 170 kilometers, 180 kilometers flight. It is known that this is another energy bomb. It is a specific oil that already breaks down energy after at least 2 hours. So I believe that this is another masterpiece when it comes to conditioners. There is no such thing. No oil with so much energy that can be broken down in such a short time. It is this oil that El Hoof is also served on the last Friday evening feed. And then they sip it with Turbo Bear. As for that famous Turbo Mies, there were also a few calls. I think that in order to give you nutrients well, you need to know a little about physical exercise and also a little about feeding. I know that some people do not know each other, and sometimes the use of supplementation is wrong. And now yes, when it comes to the danger of giving Turbo Mies during flights of young pigeons, it is probably only about the quantity. So if there is, say, a flight of 120 kilometers, 150 kilometers and this flight is easy, then it is enough to give this Turbo Mies 20 grams per liter of water. If it is 170 kilometers, but it is hot and against the wind, it is known that then our physical effort lengthens, the intensity of this effort increases, because young pigeons are walking sharply, so then we use 40 to 50 grams per liter of water. It will not be a mistake. I think that this electrolyte is great, and here we cannot make a mistake among leading young pigeons due to the fact that we mostly feed these pigeons with a legume-free feed. So let's say carbohydrate feed. This is how these flights go. So carbons plus carbons, because it is an electrolyte also based on carbons, gives us clean energy. The only mistake you as a breeder can make in handling your pigeons and feeding your pigeons are old pigeons. For example, it is 500 kilometers, someone listened to all the stupidity that you have to withdraw the pods and says, for example, Turbo Bear, that we have the same principle whether our energy is carbon. But this is a little short to say you want 300 info so your pigeons go very fast, compete but cut them off after 300 kilometers for example. Because coals burn coals, there is energy, it is nice clean, but for example 500 kilometers is not enough, but for say 300 or 250 kilometers. If you are dealing with fats, if more and more often, it is a penalty for location and balance. Proper to this food we will add exactly carbohydrate of this Turbo Bear, to take advantage of your drawing and make the best use of this food. These pigeons will definitely increase, for sure this energy will be clean. But it will also be long and reduced to the 500 or 700 kilometers. As you can see, Turbo Bear works, it is a great conditioner, a super electrolyte, there is no similar on the market. It is not known that we cannot know it, implement it through supplements, simply harming ourselves. And here I am talking about certain aspects. rightly just poorly when it comes to a given nape. And it can be seen, for example, in young pigeons. While in the initial period, which can be put on knowledge in our knowledge during reconstruction, these distances are not short, and it is not known that the better experience and better quality, even if you can help yourself in the future, the errors are not small anymore. They are only shameful. They often lead to some flying tragedies. I briefly discussed all these conditioners, what it looks like. It is known with this turbo bear, we dose ourselves. I use supplements in terms of the duration of the effort. And that's how we dose these supplements. So if, for example, 200 kilometers is not equal to 200 kilometers, because it can be 200 kilometers downwind, they can fly quickly, and even then we may not need these nutrients. Or need them to a lesser degree. And it is 200 kilometers against the wind and the heat, and then this flight is twice as long. Then we have to take action of rebuilding, strong supplementation, and this is what it looks like. Colleagues, that's all I have to say about these supplements. We talked about this supplementation earlier. I wrote some certain things on a piece of paper. We have been using these nutrients for several seasons, but we will not say any results. We will not go back a few years. We will go back to 2018 in Gorzów Wielkopolski. I was flying here on my wife's team, or I was cleaning up. My wife was flying. She flew the champion out of the typed pigeons, the second runner-up behind his colleagues Yuskolski and Komorowski. Here from Gorzów. Great opponents, best regards. We got first, second, third, 8th, 9th, 11th, 14th, 21st, 29th aviator, and so on. What else can we say about these flights in Gorzów? Our first flight was 47 pigeons, for a flight of 5 to 30 pigeons. 3 was eaten by the hawk. 2 wing injury, so no matter how we add, 12 pigeons out of 47 we lost. The rest of them completed their flights, which was a very good result. As for Bystrzyca Kładka, where we fly here in tandem with our wreck, the runner-up of the selected pigeons, except for his colleague Malkowski. Best regards. A very good result in the 2018 season. Master from the entire lineup. We started the first flight of 89 pigeons. With 90 pigeons, the efficiency of almost 61% of young pigeons, where it is known that there is a waste. Well, I think it's great efficiency. Aviators, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 15, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and so on. These pilots in the top 50 to 25 pilots were ours. And in all this there was also Pigeon 1, 2, 3 so named from the first, second and third competition of the 14th Polish Young Pigeon Aviator 2018. There are results for the year when it comes to young pigeons, so please, do not be afraid of using the products of the Animus-X group. It is known that in addition to nutrients, you also need good pigeons and a little knowledge about feeding. It is known that whoever makes fewer mistakes in professional sport, it is known that he wins. So I wish you to make less and less of these mistakes.